So we just spent a few $1,000s upgrading the lights in our church auditorium. Now the auditorium, we don't use it for Sunday mornings, just for other events. But I figured I would show you guys what the lights looked like before, the changes we made, why we made them, and kind of what it looks like now to actually use them. So let's go take a look. But first, let me turn off these crazy lights that are driving me insane right now. All right, so let's start out with the why behind the upgrade. You know, I believe that any kind of purchase, especially when you're spending thousands of dollars for a church our size, or any size really, deserves some sort of reasoning and actual purpose behind it. And the main reason was the lights that we had in here were pretty old and half of them weren't working anymore. You know, there were certain colors on the washes that just were completely out, didn't work. Some of them were spazzing out, blinking randomly. They would just kind of disconnect from the DMX control all of a sudden. So they're about 10 years old. They weren't expensive lights to begin with, so we figured it was a good time to put some money into replacing them. In case you're curious about the actual lights we were using, they were these little guys, which is just some power washes from American DJ. Again, not super pricey lights, but it's a pretty small space, and we were a very small, brand new church plant when we got started. So these are the lights they chose, and they've been working well for us for a while. But like I said, they were kind of going out. And the other piece of it is actually our DMX controller. So from the beginning, we had just been rocking with this guy right here. Now, that was plenty for what we were doing before, but we really wanted to actually have more control over our lights. Because if you notice, this guy doesn't actually have that many controls on it. Doesn't have that many different channels that it can control all at once, and it's all just manual sliders, right? There's nothing motorized, nothing you can really pre-program in that advanced. And so we actually had a problem where most of our lights were actually sharing addresses. We really only had like 3 addressable fixtures, but multiplied across our different fixtures. And while that may not be that big of a deal in most scenarios, we're really just kind of looking for an upgrade. The other thing is that we have started doing worship in the round in this space. And well, that's great, except that our only lights were on the stage. We didn't have any lights actually out in the middle of the room. So that created issues where we were setting up tiny little pars up on our balcony and pointing them down, having lamps in the middle of the floor, and just really inconsistent lighting, which again, we could have gotten away with, except that we wanted to start recording things, and that was gonna be really tough if we didn't have adequate lighting in here in order to do that. So that's kind of the reason behind the lighting upgrade. Don't mean to bore you with that, but again, I really feel like if you're gonna do anything in your church that requires money, you should be able to justify it. So what did we think for the upgrade? Well, we didn't really need different types of lights on the stage, right? They had been kind of working pretty well for us. We just kind of needed to replace them with something that wasn't broken. That feels pretty obvious. But we also didn't want to break the bank because again, these were working and we don't need anything super fancy, just like a plain stage wash and then some nice colors in the background. The big thing that we wanted to accomplish that was new was again, being able to light this middle area for these worship in the round sections. And for that, we kind of thought of a couple different options. One is we could actually just mount some washes up on the corners of the room and then point them downwards. But we figured why not be a little bit more flexible than that and actually mount some moving fixtures up there, one in each corner of our balcony. And so that way, during our worship in the round, we can point them down here on the floor, but for other events, so especially for like student life or children's events like VBS, it'd be really awesome to be able to have moving lights that create a more fun atmosphere and kind of just add to things. Plus, they can be flexible and help add to the stage wash or just a splash of color throughout the room for other events that we're doing. So we decided to get some moving lights rather than just plain old power washes that we were kind of using everywhere else. The other part to this is that American DJ doesn't actually make the lights that we were using anymore, and so it was a good time to reevaluate what we were working with. And like I showed you guys before, our DMX controller wasn't really going to be super useful for those moving lights. It was going to be a little tricky if we wanted to do something like that. So we needed to upgrade to something else as well. So I will actually start with that. We decided to go with Lightkey. Now, if you guys don't know what Lightkey is, it's a piece of software that runs on Macs only. It is a subscription, which like, not a big fan, but here we are. And it is a DMX control software. It allows you to build little lighting scenes and control all of your lights completely from your desktop computer. There are lots of different options out there, but honestly, the price point of this really worked out for us, and we were able to go double duty because the Mac Mini that we bought for this station is also running Logic to multi-record our services that we do in here, and it's also running Spotify for just our music. So that M4 Mac Mini, which review posted up here, whichever side they put the links on, great computer, great little computer, especially for churches. So Lightkey, running on a Mac Mini. The next part of this is how we're actually getting the DMX control to our lights, right? So this DMX controller just had a DMX cable coming out of it, and it runs to the back and splits off in different directions from when this building was first built. So we needed a way to actually get that control from the computer. And so underneath the desk, we actually have a Chauvet Ethernet DMX adapter guy. I'm not a lighting guy, full disclosure, but basically all it is it goes on the same network as your computer, and then Lightkey can recognize it on the network, send DMX commands to it, and then there's 2 DMX outputs on that box. I don't remember the exact model name. I will link it in the description. We tried a couple of USB options, I think from Entech, but all of those crapped out on us within like the first week of testing them, or lights were flickering or something like that. And we felt like this was a little bit more flexible, especially in the future, because it doesn't even necessarily have to be in our tech booth since it works over the network. For now it is, because that's where our DMX drop was, but it gives us the flexibility in the future to move it somewhere else. All right, so now let's talk about the actual lights themselves. Again, running up to these different places. And this was a challenge during the upgrade because looking up at those lights, nobody in our church was actually the one who put those up. So no one fully knew how they were attached to the ceiling, and none of it is super standard. So there's actually some pieces of unistrut up here suspended from the ceiling down below the drop ceiling, and all of the lights are mounted to that using threaded rod. And it was a pain, but we also didn't know exactly how they were mounted without getting on a ladder first. And so great times had all around by everybody. The other thing is everything was cable managed so perfectly with zip ties and whatever, but they were cable managed specifically for the lights that were there. So putting new lights up, it was just a whole thing. So let this be a lesson. If you're gonna cable manage things, do it in a way that if you ever need to change the tech that's there in the future, you could do that fairly easily, because otherwise you're just gonna have a bad time for your future self. But anyway, the lights. These guys up here are actually some Chauvet fixtures, I believe H6 ILS, I don't remember. I'll put the link down in the description along with everything else here. They are pretty similar to what we already had providing the stage watch from ADJ. They're about $150 a fixture, so they're super cheap, and they're not, you know, the brightest, craziest lights in the world with the widest throw, but because of how close they are to our stage, you know, they get the job done and we make it work. Again, we didn't need anything super, super crazy. I think what we're going to do though is actually mount a couple more lights, one to this side and one to this side, and also add them to this center area. That way, when we do worship in the round, we get light coming from a couple different directions. We just haven't done that yet. Then for the backlighting on the stage, these are some of the cheapest little par washes that I could find on Amazon that were RGB and had the right IEC in and out power connectors, as well as DMX in and out, so that way I could link those lights together. And I think they're from a company called U-King. I don't know. They end up being about $30 a light when you buy 8 of them. I'm not saying I vouch for them necessarily because we've only had them for a month or so now, but they've worked great in that time, and for $30, like, I mean, if one goes out, it's not a huge deal to replace it. I would say the biggest thing is that the color reproduction is not amazing, and so you're definitely gonna have to dial those in a little bit if you're looking for something super specific. Because we're not, these work great, you know? They get the job done, you can put pretty colors up there, provide a little splash, and they're super fun, super cheap. Yeah, that's basically the whole story. And then finally, the most expensive piece of this, as far as lights actually go, are again, the movers that we have up top in the room. And those are actually the Boulder Pro 19 by 15. I don't know if those are the right numbers. Anyway, again, linked all below. These are, again, pretty cheap fixtures for what they are. They're about $300 for moving lights. And so, again, they're not gonna win any awards for their color accuracy or anything like that. But for what we're using them for, again, for that worship in the round and for kids events and such, they're gonna get the job done. And they've looked super cool, specifically at our last worship night and at Student Life a couple weeks ago. I think the biggest thing I would note with them is that as far as noise goes, they are not completely silent. They do have a decently audible fan noise once they get spinning up. Now, if you have an event in here or there's more than like 4 people in this room talking, you will not notice it. But it's good to know that it's there, especially if they're hanging, you know, 5 feet above someone's heads like they are in our space. Once the beams power off, they do wind the fans down after a couple minutes, so they will be completely silent after a few minutes of non-operation, but while they're running, there will be a fan, you will hear it, it will be fine. So again, after all of those lights, the computer, all the random little accessories needed to actually hook everything up, this upgrade ran us right about $3,000, which, you know, I never love having to spend $3,000, but to replace all of our stage lighting in our auditorium, I feel like that's not bad, and I think it looks a little better than it did before, and all of our lights actually work, so that's a plus. Now, am I going to regret buying cheap lights later on? Maybe. We'll see. But again, these are really working for us now, and at the price point that they are, it kind of comes with the territory. And realistically, we're at a place that affording more expensive lights just isn't really in the cards for us. I am really excited about Lightkey though, because it gives us the ability to actually individually address every single one of these lights. Again, we're not going to do that all the time necessarily, but it's good to be able to do that to create some fun lighting patterns for whatever the different events are that we need to. It's a big step up over this old little DMX controller here, but we're still going to repurpose this thing for things like camps or potentially other random events that we need to set up lights for in other parts of our building. It's going to be super handy to kind of have this guy be able to be a utility player when we need it now, because that's one of the perks of being a budget church is you get a piece of gear, you hold on to it forever because you never know when you might need it, and it's hard to spend money on things. The only problem with that is I need to find somewhere to store it now, so that's fun. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have any questions, if you've used any of these lights, if you have other suggestions for budget lights, or if you think I'm an idiot for the light choices that I made because I'm not a lighting guy and I'm not trying to spend a ton of money, and I'm sure there's some of you out there that feel that way, but here we are. Links for all of the items are in the description. Let me know if you guys are liking this different content away from live streaming. It's a little outside of my norm, but I do a lot of tech stuff at the church, so it's kind of nice to document it and share my journey. So until next time.